Hello. Okay. All right. Hello. Hello. Welcome back. My name is Daniel, and today I'm going to generate API docs for Pathos, my Path library, and we're going to use the open source project called Jazzy. It's maintained by Realm. It's actually my colleague JP is a big contributor to the project, along with many others. And yeah, it's super awesome. So for those that don't know, Pathos is a Swift path library, path management, file management, however you want to call it. It has things such as let's just look at the overview, right? You can make temporary directory that's a guaranteed to be unique and writable, and you can glob for a file pattern to get your files. You can do some path manipulation slash analytics. This example like drops the extension. You can join the paths that can be handy if you are worried about extra slashes or windows. Creating the directory, you can do basic file IO stuff, and you can manipulate files like deleting them, moving them, adding permission, reading permission, things like that. So that's Pathos, and right now I have a issue that's actually filed many months ago, half a year ago now, which is the doc string is not viewable outside of code. So I have pretty comprehensive doc string. How do I show you this? So let's just say, let's just search for the keyword public. You'll see there's tons of public symbols in here. Yeah, 150. So they all needs to be documented before I want to go for 1.0 release. And if you also search for the word to do, you'll find there are 35 of them, and they all relates to doc strings. I'll just open up an example. You'll see, so read string has doc strings, but write for bytes doesn't. Things like that. So this string, for example, my goal is not to write these doc strings maybe towards the end, but my goal is to make them viewable. So it's kind of relates to a project setup. And yeah, so let's just dive in, right? So there's this tool called Jazzy. It's written in Ruby, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and so having installed it, all you need to do for your Swift project is this, right? You just run the command Jazzy. It will go in your Xcode project and find all the source files and analyze them, and then it will dump some kind of documentation to a folder. Yeah, so it creates the build and docs. So before I go any further, let me just make a branch. And I'm going to ignore that build folder. That didn't seem to work. Oh, because I typed it wrong. All right, so let's look at this docs folder, right? So it's basically a website. You open it, you open the index up, and it's some kind of docs that looks like Apple Docs, kind of. But right away, you should see my problem. The problem I'm trying to solve is not just to get to this or even hosting it on GitHub or something. is more related to the way the project is, the public symbols are structured and exposed. You'll notice that there are tons of top level functions, which makes it really kind of hard to navigate. And to make it worse, for each one of these free top level functions, there's actually a extension on the protocol path representable. So the idea is you as a user can choose to either work with the top level free function, which gives you string as path and throwing errors, so you can get all the errors you care about, or you can go with the OOP way, and if you use that, then you don't. In addition to the aesthetics that you may prefer, you get some kind of isolation from the raw system errors. For example, if you're touching the file system somehow and there's error, instead of most of the time you don't know what it is, and instead you get the return value being false. When you let's say when you create dictionary, right? So you notice that the return value actually indicates whether the directory is created, instead of telling you here's a error, system error, and here's the error number or something like that. Yeah, so the problem of that is like there's a huge number of methods, extensions on this protocol, and there's a huge number of free top level functions. So if you just get dropped into this documentation, you kind of get lost. Yeah, so I'm going to have to use advanced Jazzy features, quote unquote advanced, to deal with it, to organize this somehow. Yeah, and that's what I am trying to do. Yeah, so let's just delete this documentation because I don't want it to be in here. Before I go any further, I want to look at what GitHub offers as. Can I show this on screen? Probably. GitHub pages, right? So you can host it in the docs folder, or you can use master branch for GitHub pages. Let's read their documentation. You can configure GitHub pages published to a site's source files from master, GH pages, or a /docs folder on your master branch. So that's probably why Jazzy by default generates a /docs folder. Yeah. So I'm kind of torn. Like this /docs could work. It has some kind of benefit. It has the benefit that when user goes in and download a tarball of the source file or something, they can view the documentation locally without by just opening up index.html. But the downside obviously is it creates some kind of confusion because there's already a documentation folder. And another thing is, this is kind of silly, but I like uppercase folder names instead of lowercase. So I probably will go with GH pages branch, but the downside with that is you have to write a script that move things around. You have to kind of generate your docs in a temporary folder, switch branch, or even make a fresh clone somewhere, and then you have to override content of that pages. Yeah. And also, I don't have that option. Is it because I haven't created that branch? Let's see. If gh pages. If I push up this branch. Aha, yeah. Now it's actually the default. Site is ready to be published. All right, let's just do this then. Has HTTPS. Yeah, this probably will work. All right. Okay, so that's that. Let's go back to working with Jazzy. So the next step, obviously, is to create a config file. And I think this documentation folder probably will end up become the source of the folder. Let me just document that itself. So add a readme here. This is this files in this directory. Yeah, I'll just read a simple line and I will update it as we go. And yeah, so I guess we'll start with a configuration file, right? And I'll consult Jazzy's documentation. Ironically, Jazzy's documentation is kind of lacky if you think about it, because there's no documentation folder. There's a README file which has some good information. More importantly, it links to a bunch of examples you can look at. Let's look at Realm's example. View on GitHub. And what is their configuration docs? Documentation can be found at, API is at, Swift, Jazzy, build, sh, docs, Swift output. Okay, so they have a shell, they have a build script, and what did it say? Docs or something? Docs, build docs, okay. So they just invoke Jazzy in the command line. And they swap out some arguments by language. There's the version, blah, blah. I'll put it here. Custom header. Yeah, okay. So they actually use like a pretty, I guess Jazzy is like built to suit their needs. So their usage kind of basic. But yeah, okay, I'll just start my own file. Now, the most important thing is where would my output be? If I use Jazzy's config file, that means, oh, can I do both? Hold on. Let's just pick a random thing here. I don't know, author. So I know I can do like Jazzy config, I think, documentation, jazzy.json. Can I also say output? Is it in a different place? It looks happy. Maybe this can work. What's funny is the output actually, this is actually pretty accurate relative directory to the output. Nice. So that worked. Okay, so I can use a combination of config files and the output. Basically, I can use this command, which is pretty awesome. Okay, let me encode that. Make docs Jazzy config documentation jazzy.json output. For now, just put it here. Pathos docs. So we're gonna make docs, and things will happen. Sweet. Let's keep going. So we have an author. I think I'll stick to this. Well, the thing I don't like about this this layout is it doesn't seem to be responsive. So that's not great. The other ones I think fall with looks pretty good. So theme. Fall width, right? This one looks pretty good. I guess I should stop trying to this one looks better, and it is kind of responsive, and it looks really clean. Yeah, so that's awesome. All right, so now comes the, I guess we should dive into the most important part, which is the fact that let me just add the other thing. I think this is redundant, but doesn't hurt to have it. The most important thing is I want to customize these sections, right? I want to organize this flat list into my own organization and add kind of an intro to each section. And the problem, I guess it's not a problem, but the thing that I need to be careful for is I think as soon as you introduce any kind of customized category, I think it's called, Jazzy will start using calling the things that aren't customized like as others. So maybe I'll even make a lint rule that lint for phrases like other, uppercase other space thing. And I'll show you, I guess. Why do it? Why say it when I can show it? I think I just call them customized, wait, custom, maybe custom categories. Let's see. Custom categories, yeah. So custom category is going to be a list, and each object inside will have a name, and in this case, let's just pick some names here. How about path manipulation, manipulating path, manipulate or altering paths, altering directories, paths. Naming is hard. How about title case? And I think the next thing is children. Here you get to say, for example, the one I was looking at is the delete guy, delete path recursive. So that's the top level symbol name. So I believe if you just say this, it should successfully reference it. And now if I do generate docs, and we will refresh this page. I don't know, not sure why it says GitHub at the top. Yeah, I'm not sure why it thinks that's GitHub. All right. Anyways, it's this guy, right? All right. Yeah, so you can see now I have my own section came up. However, all the other categories now becomes other something. So I need to make sure that I have 100% coverage for the sectioning of the documentation. Other than that, everything will just work like that. Also, I really dislike the word altering here. Maybe. These are all temporary. So, okay. Another problem is the fact that, this is undocumented. Awesome. It's the fact that I really don't have a good solution for how to make these easier, other than the fact that I may be able to link to them. By that I mean I can go to right. Let's pretend this is documented, and I can say see also, and then has representable dot, and then I go find the top level symbol for that, delete. I believe it's just delete recursive, this guy. All right. So if we add this doc string, this piece, and we build the site, Jazzy will actually go out and link to that documentation. All right, so yeah, so C also pops up here. If you click on this, it will link to this guy, which is this. I haven't came up with a good convention to actually describe the relationship between these two. And whatever I come up with, it should work everywhere. So maybe to work with use this. How about that? I feel like the way I tested whether this works is literally look at the generated result and feel it from the user's reader's perspective. To work with path, or maybe an or to work with path, or use, yeah. Yeah, this is fine. Now, what do I do when I actually document the counterpart? So here I will have to also say C also. Do I need to say anything else though? Can I just say delete path recursive? All right, let's go here. You get the link. You go here. It did not contain my, did I not save? See also, click, you're back here. All right, so that's pretty good. Manipulating paths. All right, so the next thing I want to add is a so-called abstract. And I'm not going to cover all of this over here. Instead, I'll just do the project setup part, I think. And if we have more time, we'll do the rest. So, I think I'm gonna have to add abstract. What do I want to call this? Abstracts. Or abstracts. So the underscore probably is a universal indicator that this is internal or not meant for not intended to be read by human. Yeah. So, manipulating paths.md quote the following help the following functions and their counterparts manipulate or help you alter the file system. Oh, whatever. It's just an example. So I expect the content of that shows up here, right? It did not show up here. Menu. I have a spelling error. That's probably why. Manipulating. Manipulating paths. Abstracts. That's why. Yeah, this project setup stuff sometimes does feel just like programming. Any typo will thrash you, and you have to wait for the compiler to tell you what's wrong. Manipulating paths. Come on. Abstracts. Manipulating paths.md. Manipulating. Why isn't my thing showing up? Okay. Manipulating paths.md. Documentation/abstracts. Oh. Oh. This is why. Yay. All right, so yeah, so that's good because now I'm going to create more and more of these abstracts and organize my free methods into them. For example, another one for that will fall under here would be naturally create directories, right? Create directories. Um, yeah, so that's one thing that will happen. The next thing that would happen is, of course, for each of these string functions, I'm gonna use C also to link to their OOP counterparts and vice versa. And what else? What else? Yeah, and then I have to do the linter part. Manipulating paths. Delete path. Yeah, okay. Also, I feel like manipulating, changing, updating paths. All right. This is good. Check all this in. Hold. Okay, so the next part is integrating this, hosting it, really. Hosting it. Yeah, like I mentioned, what really needs to happen is we need to run Jazzy according to our config file that we just created and dump it somewhere in the file system. And switch project. By switch project, switch project and then dump the content of the generated site to the new project and replace project with the word branch. Yes. And ideally, I probably want all of that to happen I want all of that to happen on a feature branch in a separate instance of the repository even. Yeah, let me just look at what I do when I deploy my own personal site, which is a static site. So that will be duan.ca. I believe I have a make file here. This site uses Jekyll. So I check out the pages, clean everything out. I check out master. And I remove the temporary file, make it again. I copy the .git there. Interesting. That's a good approach. And then I go there, I check out JH pages. I clean everything up. And then I copy the file that got generated into that. Go there again, add everything, and commit. Use a random commit message. Go there, push. I like that. I guess I can improve it by creating a temporary directory. I guess when I wrote this, I must not have been aware of that kind of stuff, or at least wasn't thinking about it. I like this approach though. Okay, so it might be easier if that's a shell script. Yeah. So scripts. User bin and bash. Just look at it some more for inspiration. So the first thing we want to do is create a temporary directory. So make temp, I think. So if I just run make temp, in addition to returning this value to me, it also makes this. Right. So you do this, and we're gonna do Jazzy Output. Config documentation /jazzy.json. And let's just open it up for now as a test. Okay. Looks good. We're generating. Something failed. Oh, interesting. The reason it failed is because it, okay. It doesn't expect there's to already have a folder. So this time it'll be better because there won't be one. No. Make there. Oh, it's complaining the file does not exist. What? What? It's not a directory. Let me just make sure I understood it. Oh, wait. I think I know what's going on. It should be make d temp, right? Make d temp. Make d temp. Make temporary file unique. So that makes a file. D makes a directory. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah, that's more like it. It's got my stuff, it has my headers, everything works. Perfect. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so instead of opening that in Finder, what I really want is what I really want is to copy my .git history there. So that'll make that temporary folder a copy of this repository. And then I will go there. And then I will check out this. And I should do git clean dxf. I'll do this one by one. So this will kind of reset whatever external files that, yeah, okay. Lingering files there. And then I will generate the documentation. All right, let's just see what that does for now. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no. My script is gone. That sucks. All right. This is fine. T's fine. We will do it again. Make a temporary directory. We're gonna I think what I need to do is like push D, right? Hold on. Push D. Something like this. Push D, pop D. Yeah. Just want to look up its spelling. All right, let's run it like this. Oops. Wait, what does this mean? All right, looks like push D and pop D both print something, which is fine. Okay, so yeah, now I can guarantee my current working directory is there. But before I do go there, I want to do all the generation and shit. Okay. So we'll make a directory. We're gonna make it our repo. We're gonna go there. Check out this. Clean out all the junk. Yeah, let's just see what that does. Okay, we're in here. It's gonna be, it's a repo. It has all the stuff in here. Looks good. I guess the next step is simply Jazzy config documentation jazzy.json output. So this will dump the generated site into that. Okay, interesting. Let's try that. All right, Jazzy hopefully told us the path that we need to go inspect. And when I'm here, it looks like a website with a bunch of stuff, which is great. Yeah, I like this. So now we have some options. We can make the script ask us whether to deploy it. Yeah, so and to deploy it, all we need to do is like, again, push here, add everything, commit everything. Do I want to do what the commit again? Yeah, unclear. I probably, if possible, I probably want to get. I probably want to get the hash for the original repo. So how would I get that? Something like this. But also git log. All right, let's look it up. Git log documentation. I just want the hash. Negative number, already did that. The tree hash, commit hash. Format, so git log -1 format. Something like this. Wait. Pretty formats. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, I'll use it. So we'll add all the things, and we will commit. All right, let's try that. Hey, that looks like a commit, but where is it though? The new docs is here. The commit message doesn't look right. So this is no good. Yeah, that's more like it. Just to make very sure, let's go there. And let's admire. Okay, so that kind of does what I want. The last thing is I probably also want to do like an interactive thingy. Can I say read hello, something like this? I'm just also gonna just comment these things out. Oh, test is a terrible name, isn't it? Text. All right. That's wrong. All right, I have no idea how to read it. Shell or bash read user input. Oh, read var name. Dash p, read dash p. How about deploy to production? The default value is no. The actual value is yes. Okay. If I just say enter, nothing, okay. But if I say whatever, all right. So here I get to compare the value of deploy, right? So if deploy I forgot whether I want to do this. I know at the end I'll do fi. Else not something like that. Maybe like this. Okay. Bash if else. Oh, then. Bash condition else. Or. All right, so that's simple. Deploy doc site. Okay, so if we are going to deploy the site, we're going to go back. I guess we're already in here, huh? So I guess all that's left to do is git push-f origin gh pages. Do I even want -f? Probably not -f. Okay, so after we push the GH pages, we're going to first of all pop out back to our original directory, and then we're going to ask the user whether they want to delete the generated site. And by default, we're going to do the delete. If the user explicitly says no, then we're going to tell them where the site is and let them decide what to do, right? Should I also get the status of the push? Probably. I think he's like dollar question. Yeah. So can I say if right. If dollar question is 0, then then do all this. Else push failed. The generated site is at all right, so let's review. So we're going to, I don't need to see this anymore. So we make a temporary output, and then we're gonna copy our .git directory to that temporary directory so that makes that output directory a copy of the Git repository. And then we're gonna switch to it to become the current working directory. We're gonna check out the GH pages branch. We're gonna clean out whatever is left over that Git doesn't care for. We're gonna leave that directory and go back to our original current working directory. I'm gonna run Jazzy, which will output the result to that directory. We're gonna take the last known hash and title from our repository. We're gonna go back to the generated output directory. We're gonna add everything. So if anything changed, we'll add it. We're gonna do a commit. And interestingly, the commit could fail as well, which is fine, which is perfect actually, because we don't allow empty commit. Yeah. And after all that, we should have a copy of our repository on the GH pages branch with the website added to its commit history. At this point, we ask, do you want to deploy the website? And if the answer is yes, we will go ahead and make a git push. The result of that determines what happens next, and if the push is successful, we will leave that directory and ask user, do we want to clean up the generated site? And if the answer is no, then we simply print the output directory. If the answer is yes, we will delete the directory. And if the push fails, we tell user. If the user says they don't want to deploy the site, we tell them the output of the directory. Everything on paper looks good. So I'm gonna check this in. Okay, actually, what's my last commit? Make generate script. Probably just going to do this. All right, so now the moment of truth, I guess. We have to look up how to actually make that directory, that branch. I'm gonna delete the remote GH pages. Empty branch for a new product, blah, 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 blah. Check out orphan. Yeah, check out orphan, I think. So I'm gonna delete the local branch as well. Orphan GH pages. So here, I guess we can also keep leveraging this Stack Overflow post, cached, -r, everything. There's also untracked files. There's no history. It's a clean branch. Recreate. Uh-oh. Yeah, I guess you have to start somewhere. This is the website, documentation website for Pathos. And we leave a friendly link there. Pathos link is HTTPS. It's on GitHub. Can't type today. And okay, so now there's some history here. Create README. I want to push this. Okay. Something went wrong. Aha, okay. So the problem is this project doesn't have an Xcode project. Jazzy relies on Xcode project, I believe. So we need to make an Xcode project first. And then instead of doing this, we're gonna do script generate docs. And instead of running that manually, I'm gonna run like this. Script generate docs doesn't exist because what I want is scripts generate doc. Aha, much better. Deploy document site. Dare I try it? Looks like Jazzy did generate the thing in there. I say why not? We push succeeded. Clean up generated site, yes. Now what happens? Now what happens? Yes. Yes. That is live. And it has everything here. Awesome. All right. I'm going to say mission accomplished. This is beautiful. So now if I go to that branch, there should be one commit or two commit. Yeah, two commit. That's pretty awesome. That's really good. All right, so what can I do on CI to make this even better? So I can say go attempt to generate the side for each checks. And make sure that the generated site is the same as interesting. Yeah, so I can generate the site and then run a diff with the current GH pages branch. What I should find is, well, there's a generate date in there, isn't it? Generate updated, last updated. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. All right, I think I'll just skip. This is awesome. Read the documentation. Nice. Okay. Mission accomplished. Almost. Let's make a pull request. And in this pull request, we will close number 13. Oh, wait. There's actually something else I need to work on. There's something else. Yeah, the thing that's still missing is this. Is this. I actually have no idea how to use gem files. So let's just copy some example. Gem file. How about I just copy all of this? Gem file. Blah. Development. Jazzy. What's the current release? Do I need gem spec? Gem spec. I guess I don't need this, right? Call source as a block. Setting up Ruby, setting your gems. The version of a gym. How about something like that? Gym to be required. Group development. I think this is it. What if I do bundle install? I can't run bundle because bundle is broken. Oh boy, do I want to do this? This is just about compass. I don't care about compass. Problem with bundle. Wait. Gem on install bundler. Gem install bundler. I feel like I just did this not long ago with Jyco, but I could be wrong. Bundle install. I have no idea how to do this. This is terrible. Come on. Oh, that's something. Yes, please. What's going on? .502 from rubygem.org. Awesome. But yeah, looks like something happened. We installed a bunch of stuff, fetching, installing, CocoaPods, blah, 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 blah. Jazzy. Now what? Ensure Jazzy is gonna do is it like this? No. Yeah, what am I doing? Maybe I should simply do sudo gem install jazzy -v, something like this. That's probably simpler without this gem file stuff. Gem file.log. Yeah, so I'm not even running that on CI. So it's gonna be user facing. Okay, interesting. How about this? Jazzy-v. Jazzy-h. So I don't like software that has extra chatters. Like when I ask for version, just give me the version instead of this. This is not helpful. I'm sure this is just an alias. Yeah, not great. Make file test. If Jazzy-v is not version shell check string postfix suffix actually has suffix. Jazzy version colon. Wow, everything is Ruby is so slow. How do I run this? It's like do I need to do this? No. I know I can do shell. I think -c. Okay. All right, this is silly. Okay. Okay. So Jazzy -v is gonna run Jazzy version. Dash remove suffix. I can never remember this stuff. I want to remove prefix though. So for prefix, it looks like I was doing the right thing. Jazzy version :space. Aha, there we go. Nice. Yeah, I should have gone with the shell script to begin with. So now our project explicitly tracks which Jazzy version it depends on, and it has a script to install it. And when you generate the docs, it will ensure that the system has a script. Pretty nice. Okay. Okay, now use Jazzy to create documentation site. This patch sets up infrastructure to generate a documentation site using GH pages. It tracks Jazzy version. It tracks a locked Jazzy version. The site can be deployed by running make docs, which triggers a script that installs Jazzy if necessary. Generate the site with Jazzy in a temp directory. Asks the invoker user if the site is to be deployed. Deploy the site by pushing to GH pages branch if desired. Cleans up. All right, the site. Documentation site uses various Jazzy features. The most important one being using abstracts to divide interfaces into logical groups. Free functions and their path via Okay. I think I'm gonna take a break. May come back to stream later, but thanks for watching. See you in the next one.